Hi there, Dr. Vicki Lemper here with the Shift Happens channel. Negative thoughts, we have them, right? And sometimes it can really paralyze us. I was a consummate negative thinker, right? I battled it for years. And I'm going to let you know what I did to mitigate those negative thoughts. But before we do that, go ahead and like, share, comment, let me know how you are coming along on your manifesting journey, and especially in particular with your negative self-talk. All right, so let's get into this. You have a desire. You have a desire to not to want to have that negative self-talk, right? And the negative self-talk, it's holding you back from being your true, authentic, full embodiment of who you want to be. And so what do? Now, I had negative self-talk, something terrible. It would wake me up in the middle of the night because I was overthinking and going, oh, I can't believe I said that. I can't believe I did that. Because that's when oftentimes wasn't even conscious of what I was actually saying, or maybe I was throughout the day saying to myself, and maybe I was, but it was just became so natural and normal for me to be negative self-talking. And then sometimes it would actually come out in words like self-deprecating, a lot of times self-deprecating humor. You know, it came out that way and in many other ways, or overly humble. We're like, no, if somebody gives you a compliment, oh my gosh, no, you know, instead of accepting it. Those are little pieces of that negative self-talk that you're not worthy of having something. And that is the key to manifesting, right? Is getting and having and being and doing all that you want. Well, we are the only ones that hold us back. So the conversation we have in our head is so important, right? Because that's what creates our destiny. And if you're against yourself, ask yourself, some of these things that you say to yourself, would you say to your coworker, to your loved one, to your siblings, to your kids, to your students, whoever, your coworkers? No, right? It can be pretty devastating, right? And so we're going to learn how to kind of shift those negative self-talk conversations. And when we're talking about shifting, leaping, quantum is minuscule, is so tiny. You don't even notice that you're shifting. That's a quantum leap. So when you're talking about quantum shifting, it is such minor shifts. And so often we want to go from 0 to 100. And so I want to be that person. So I have a desire to not have this negative self-talk. All right. So that is a clear-cut, precise desire. I am going to be more supportive in my thinking towards myself. That is who I want to be. So you have a clear-cut desire. Step 2. You want to script it. What does a person that has positive self-talk do? What do they look like? What do they sound like? What do they feel like? Really start thinking about it. Now, after you do that, I want you to go even deeper onto that scripting and go beyond. Well, I get up at 4 o'clock in the morning, I have a cup of coffee, and then at 5 o'clock, I journal. And then at 6 o'clock, I work out. And then at 7 o'clock, I eat breakfast. And then at 8 o'clock, I arrive to work. Don't go into such detail that way, but more into the feeling. What is the feeling that you would have if you had supportive comments in your head? You'd be calm. You would look at things with excitement, you would embrace diversity. You would embrace challenges. You would embrace other people's thinking. You would embrace things that you might not think you can do. You would embrace it more, because if you had a cheerleader going on in your head, you do anything, right? Instead of going, be careful, watch out, you've never done that before, I don't know, all these doubts and negative self-talk. What would it be like if you were that person that had an actual cheerleader in your head going, oh my gosh, you're going to be great at this. You should try this. You're going to be awesome at that. Of course you can do it, right? So what would that feel like? Who is that person? When you get into more of the feeling of that person, you are going to become it. You start to embody it. And that is the shift on the self-concept. So when you're trying to mitigate or manage those negative self-talk conversations in your head, you are developing your self-concept. You are changing into that person, and you're choosing to have higher vibrational thoughts into your self-concept. Because we know that when you are wanting, let's say you want to make $1,000 more a month. Well, maybe at this point, you're like, man, I know what I get each month from my business. I don't know how I'm going to do this. Again, the how is not up to you. You leave that up to source. But maybe you do incremental things. The shift is incremental. So negative self-talk. So, going back to the $1,000 a month, maybe it's more like $10 and then $20 and then $50. And then eventually, all of a sudden, you're going 100, 500, 1,000, right? It's tough to go from 0 to 100. It's like, okay, I decide I am going to stop having negative self-talk. Well, it's a practice because you're in your head all day long. You're the one having a conversation all day long. So what do? You develop that self-concept, you develop that, visualize that person that engages in that positive self-talk, right? And then you slowly begin to shift that identity. So then if you want to have positive self-talk, you're going to actually do it and practice it every minute of every day. When you talk to someone, thank you very much. I appreciate you. Oh, I love the way you're thinking. That is amazing. And you look at everything with a positive spin, with abundance, with love, with appreciation. And when you get in the habit of talking to your coworkers, especially the ones that are challenging you, because they're kind of representing that negative self-talk, ease into it and be like, I love the fact that you are bringing a whole new perspective. I hadn't thought about this particular solution to this problem, It's those shifting, and you practice it on a daily basis. Even if you're not talking to someone, you look at this and be like, man, I love my bike. It's just so nice and it's available. It shifts gears really nice, and I'm able to ride it and actually get exercise along with enjoying, feeling the breeze and riding my bike to work. I know I'm helping the environment. You just keep going and going. It keeps you on that positive trajectory, and it gets you in the habit of seeing and being that person that's positive. If you get in the practice of seeing the positive, the beauty in everyday life, you're going to see the positive and the beauty in your life. Here is a great activity or method that you could do. Just simply, every morning, you get up and you go into the bathroom, to use the restroom. Before you do that, go into the mirror and say, I love you. Now, when I first started doing it, it was like, hey, I love you. It was like, love you, babe, because it's uncomfortable. But when you do that mirror work, and maybe you just sit there and stare at yourself for a while and just smile. And then you say, I love you. And then you say, I love you. And then you say, I love you, Vicky. It's that incremental shift. These are all things that will help you to mitigate that negative self-talk. We're going to have more videos about negative self-talk because I think it's a really prevalent instance, or it's really prevalent among everyone, right? Everybody has negative self-talk. And if we can manage that negative self-talk and start raising your vibration and getting into that frequency of being that person, embodying that person, that will help your self-concept work. You'll be able to manifest and have and be and do anything you want. It's that simple. All right. Till next time, like, share, comment. Let me know. What are you doing for your negative self-talk? I always learn from you as much as you learn from me. Till next time, we'll see you. Bye-bye.